I'm just trying to do this. I'm trying to do what's right for people and help them. But yet, all I get is this negativity. And the only way that you're going to get through that is to but sometimes people just love to complain.
Yeah, or be negative.
Yeah.
And they may not always see themselves as haters. And when it's asked ultimately, hey, Lance, what do you do to handle haters? I've done, hater reaction videos and my response is always one of my intent is to educate.
Yeah.
And because I believe the more self-awareness that you have, because Gary Vee says that's one of the main things that's lacking in almost every person's life. Not everyone, but, most people is self-awareness because,
Sure.
Where do you get self-awareness? Unless you're getting brutally honest, exceedingly kind, constructive criticism on a daily basis, you're not going to have a ton of self-awareness on things. Fortunately, Toastmasters, really good business partners and accountability partners have helped me. But from a practical standpoint, this book, How to Solve Your People Problems, has helped me tremendously. And I highly recommend getting this book. I'll have the link to this book and that book in the description below so you can educate yourself. Because I'm all about educating myself too. I've read this probably like 3 or 4 times. It's that good for me because I struggle with roommates, past romantic relationships, business partnerships, friendships with people, and I've ended them. They've ended them. Like it's been both. But to summarize this book, it all comes down, and I see this in my comment section with regards to when I compare other companies to the company I'm with. And I see that a lot because people get really triggered and butthurt because you're talking about something that's near and dear to them, right? It's like if I just started talking about their dog or their child, they'd be like, hold on, time out, don't you even, da-da-da-da-da, shame on you, da-da-da-da-da. But what the book said, there's 2 different types of people. There's reasonable people and there's unreasonable people. And we can be either one of those based on who's in our sphere of influence. And so it describes reasonable people as people that focus on the truth, seeking understanding, and finding solutions for things. And they flex their reasonable muscles of empathy, awareness, responsibility, reliability, and really just all types of other skills, right? And so that's a reasonable person. An unreasonable person is focused on being right, winning, and the problem mostly blaming it on you or all blaming it on you, and they stage dramas in order to avoid personal wrongness. And so they don't see things as, hey, I could be wrong. It's, no, you're wrong because you disagreed with me. But they're not able to even verbalize that because it's more just, they use a lot of shaming or blaming language, like shame on you, or how could you do this, or you made me feel this, and it's just like, no, like, you're in control of your emotions. You get to choose what emotion you have and how you respond. But they're like, oh no, don't go too psychology on me. You do that. You always do. It's like an unreasonable person is very hard to work with.
They are.
And that's why this book says how to solve your people problems. And the best thing that you can do with unreasonable people is to not hang around unreasonable people, not become unreasonable, and to set boundaries with them.
Yeah.
And that's the best you can do. With reasonable people, the best thing to do is surround yourself with reasonable people, become reasonable, and find solutions for things that are hopefully a win-win. If you can get a win-win, great. If not, maybe big win, small win. If you can't, maybe small win, small win. If you can't, then just get a neutral and a something.
Do something.
It may not even be win-win all the time. Maybe it's a win-lose.
Absolutely.
Okay, but then the next time after that, maybe it's a lose-win. Trade off something. But at least you're trying, and you're trying to be, and that means no yelling, no screaming, no calling people out their names. So there's a lot of reasonable stuff that comes with that. But that book has helped me so much in my responses to a lot of commenters. And some of the commenters on those other videos see me as being condescending, or they see me, but it's like, I'm not condescending. I'm speaking the truth, and I'm not wavering to your level of negativity or disapproval. And I think they say, sometimes they even say, it looks like you're copy and pasting responses. My responses seem similar, but the message and the truth is the same because the truth doesn't change. You're unreasonable person is an unreasonable person, and here's what they look like every time. And the way I communicate that is going to be very, very similar for hater number 1 as it is for hater number 2 as it is for hater number 3. I'm not going to waver on how I speak that truth.
Nor should you.
Yeah. So, and that's how I deal with haters. I speak the truth. But I can't reason with an unreasonable person. And so at some point I know when to hold them, and I know when to fold them, and cut my losses and set boundaries. And sometimes, and from a YouTube standpoint, that means YouTube does block people that use bad words, so that kind of auto creates boundaries. But sometimes I will, delete their comment if they're being way overly negative and using curse words and calling people out their names and being way negative.
Yeah.
Sometimes I leave those stuff in depending on how severe it is, because I want other people to see what not to do. But that's just kind of my experiences with everything.
Absolutely. No, I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So hey, haters are always going to be there. Bottom line.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Especially, and if you're a hater, hopefully you hate less. If you've been hated on, just know that as you're doing stuff, they're just going to be there. It's a part of things. And I've been a hater in my past on certain things and people, but the point is understanding why I'm doing that,
Yeah.
and to extend empathy and be reasonable. And so I go less from hater to maybe frenemy to, maybe even a fan one day. Gary Vee talks about a lot of times people thought he was an arrogant douche in the beginning, and then he's gone to like amazing business entrepreneur to them that's helped them make a lot of money. So first impressions don't always last.
Yeah.
There are a lot of everything, but it's important to again seek understanding and really question yourself from a reasonability standpoint. And I do that with tons of haters all the time in my comment section.
Yeah.
You may have seen it if you watch those videos. But it's always done from an intent of education and creating more self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because I believe that's severely lacking, and nobody teaches self-awareness. There's no course for it, right, in college or elementary school or high school. And if nobody focuses on it in your life, then you'll never have it.
True.
Right? So I give it, whether people want it or not.
So one of the things as well is the only way that they win is if you allow them to win. If you stop doing what it is that you feel is right because you're getting hate. And I see people do that all the time in the business realm where they're like, man, people are saying this or that, and I'm just trying to do this and trying to do what's right for people and help them, but yet all I get is this negativity. And the only way that you're going to get through that is to go win, and win big, be successful, win in all measures of life. At that point, they're still going to hate, but they're going to have nothing to hate on because they're going to see the different things that you've done for the world, for your community, for your family. And if they're still saying bad things about that, you need to reevaluate who do you have in your life.
Yeah.
If they are hating on the fact that you put your family in a better position, that you've made an impact in your legacy, in your community, in the world, there's not much you can do to please them at that point.
At that point, they're probably hating because
you've done it.
They're insecure.
Yeah.
And
they hate themselves.
And they can't see themselves doing what you do, and so the only way there's a saying, you can build the biggest building in town, or you can tear down everyone else's.
Yeah.
So that's basically that saying. And some people may be like, well, Lance, you contradict yourself in some of your other videos with that, because you talk about, but I objectively talk about other companies, and I still say, here's the one that I choose and why. It's okay to have favorites. We all have cognitive bias. Yeah, it's just awareness of that, right?
Yeah.
So just like saying, oh, I don't have a favorite child. You may not have a favorite child, but you have children that do things that you like and children that you don't. And you could, if you added all those up, you'd say, this child has done more things that I like than other child. And if I were to define it on things that I like and things I don't, this child would be my favorite. So that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying it can.
Absolutely.
But yeah, how you do it, haters? Educate yourself, become more self-aware, and know that they're always going to be there. And if you are a hater, read this book. And if you don't like to read,
nothing we can do to help you anyway.
that's it. You're just going to hate. So that's it. All right. Well, thanks for watching today's video. Leave a comment below with the most positive thing a non-hater has said to you or done to you, or the most crazy thing a hater has done to you or said to you. Otherwise, hit the like button if you did, hit subscribe for future video updates, and we'll see you in the next video.